All right, let's talk about money, but not in the way you might be used to. Today, we're going to break down a financial framework from a course that's designed for successful people who, despite all their success, still feel like something's not quite right with their finances. Let's get into it.
So, the whole idea we're digging into today starts with this really powerful question. You're at the top of your game, you're making good money, so why on earth do so many incredibly smart, high-earning professionals feel completely lost when it comes to their own finances?
And you know, the source material just nails this feeling with one phrase: the hollow dread. It's that nagging voice in the back of your head, that anxiety that your financial life just isn't as solid as your professional one. And solving that feeling is what this whole framework is about.
Okay, so this brings us to what the source calls the high earner's dilemma. Let's really get into this paradox.
Here's the core of the problem. Think about it. You could be an absolute genius in your field, but that doesn't mean you automatically know anything about personal finance. It's like we were all pushed out onto the financial playing field and told, "Go play," but nobody ever bothered to give us the rule book. And this image, wow, it just perfectly captures that feeling, right? You're moving, things are happening, you got the horsepower, but you're effectively driving blind. You're just reacting to bumps in the road instead of actually navigating with a map. And that is a seriously stressful way to live. All right, so if that's the symptom, this feeling of driving blind, what's the actual diagnosis? Well, according to the source, it all comes down to operating on what it calls a broken script. Now, this is a really crucial idea. A broken script is basically an old set of beliefs about money that you've picked up along the way, but they just don't work anymore. It's the mindset that has you chasing the latest crypto craze or some hot stock tip while completely ignoring the boring, foundational stuff that actually builds real, lasting wealth. And you can see the difference right here. It's like night and day. The old script is all about reacting, chasing hype, looking for some kind of magic pill. But this new framework, it's proactive. It's built on logic, on a system. And look at the goal. It shifts from just mindlessly accumulating stuff to actually building a life that has a real purpose.
Okay, so that's the problem. The old script is broken. So what's the fix? How do you actually tear that up and architect something new?
The goal here isn't about finding some magic bullet or the next hot stock. Nope. It's about installing a professional-grade system, a personal financial framework. The language here is so important. It's not about guessing, it's about engineering, building, and creating something that's solid and built to last. And here's the blueprint, a 5-step process. First up, you audit. You do a deep dive and expense autopsy to see where your money is really going. Second, you defend. You build an insurance fortress so you can actually sleep at night. Third, you dismantle debt, but strategically. Fourth, you grow your income. And finally, you plan how to harvest that wealth for your future. See? Every single step is a deliberate action, not just a shot in the dark. So you do all this work. What's the payoff? What actually changes? The source material describes this incredible shift from a life of constant, low-level anxiety to a life of true agency. Listen to what this senior software engineer had to say. The big change wasn't just about the numbers in his account, it was about finally having clarity. You know, it's the difference between just owning a pile of bricks and actually having the architectural plans for the house you're building. And check this one out, because this is really powerful. A marketing director, someone you'd think would be pretty savvy, realized he was running on a flawed money mindset without even knowing it. That's what a good framework does first. It holds up a mirror to the broken script you didn't even know you were following. And this last one, wow, this really shows how deep the change goes. Your job stops being just a grind to get a paycheck. It becomes a vehicle, a powerful tool that you're using on purpose to build out your bigger life plan. That's the leap from anxiety to real agency. And all of this really leads to the biggest idea of all. It's about the psychology of enough. It's about redefining what wealth even means. And here's the thing you absolutely have to get. The end goal isn't just hitting some magic number in your bank account. According to this framework, true wealth is autonomy. It's the freedom to control your time, to make your own choices, to live your own life. So the journey, the real goal, is to move from a life that's just about endless accumulation to creating what the source calls a masterpiece of purpose. Your financial plan stops being about just getting more, and it becomes the foundation for a life that you design with intention. Now, just a quick but really important heads up from the source material itself. This whole framework is presented for educational purposes only. It's about helping you build financial literacy, not giving you specific investment tips or financial advice. So we're going to leave you with this question, a question to really think about. After seeing the huge difference between a broken script and an architected framework, you've got to ask yourself, what financial script are you following right now? And more importantly, what script do you want to start building tomorrow?